when we get the opportunity to stay connected to our lovely inner child, 0 1 year old right here, with my 3 year old though, secure attachment, empowered woman, I can tell you all about fear as that dominant emotion with my panic attacks and actually feeling pure fear, which is way different than what I'm going to talk about in our episode. But just because I like to share every now and then. So empowerment doesn't mean we are in the absence of emotions. It means we're emotionally self-regulating, aware, accountable, and the thoughts. And so I know how to be in my prefrontal cortex. So I know that my emotion and anxiety and all of it is not real, meaning not an indisputable fact. So like even when I started to have panic attacks, because I knew though as a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul age group I got here, I did know about 5D though, and it's something beautiful that I won't talk about too much right now. Long story short, though, I knew about ascension energy, so I wasn't afraid, and I knew what I would do to make sure that I would be okay as my brain with a panic attack. Anybody who's ever had one knows it's just saying, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die. Like, I'll never forget because, well, no, I will. I can now share a story without me being so, like, oh my gosh, am I going to have another one? Because I had so many of them. I'm laughing because it's funny now. Oh, but if there's one thing about Kundalini awakening and spirituality awakening journey, no dark night of the soul or ego death. The way the 4D talks about it, yeah, no. I'm going to say, no saga with twin flame or flames or soulmates. So this is a completely minuscule. But that's because there's not a lonely, are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Do you know? No, I'm a twin. So see, my 1 year old has never known one day of not being a part of a herd with another herd member. And that's very serious. I'm attachment trauma informed. So I support people for personal development, self-help that want to have this infinite higher human conscious potential experience like this. So some will get here with earned secure attachment thanks to people that have secure attachment, and that's because we're mammals and we can support each other to heal. So some people from very big trauma events, and we're going to leave all the in-depth information. Okay, so an empowered woman, we have emotions. The difference is we don't think of them as irrefutable facts, not even a little bit. Not with telepathy, not with you seeing. There are things that you will not even imagine. Actually, yes, if you're mystic, divine, feminine, 5D though, come on over. 5D means you're not a key. Nobody's more special than anybody else. We're all a collective. And this is important because the key thing is where we all can be keys. But our unlocking of our hearts is where, oh, look, I want to be a person with you and you with me. So that means that you safely can be the authentic version of you. Okay, so a key is where you know that even though some people like to say these sentences, you are a spirit in a body, not a body with a spirit. So making the body beautiful is fun, but making the spirit beautiful is the main goal of this life. Read that again. No, I don't have to, but the main goal of this life, spirit, is your name. Use your human name, because see, the essence of you, all of you, all of you, all of me, take all of me. Okay, so they use the word spirit, which then creates spiritual bypassers. And that's why we have mantles of mental health and mantles of yoga and mantles of spirituality. And they don't know that it's true spirituality to live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. And sciences and spirituality talk about consciousness together. So we find 4D mystics tend to think that they have something more. We all have something called the 1 year old. So everybody has the 1 year old. Now, even if it's hidden beneath all the shame and all the blame and all the fault and all of what's really sad, okay, so all the trauma, and so they have a maladaptive child behavior plus adaptive child plus even more stuff, which we can use a Michael Stone forensic criminologist scale. He's a forensic criminologist. He has a scale of evil. They all need good therapists. So an empowered woman, 5D mystic, enlightenment soul age group functional adult, what I can say is I surround them all with good therapists. And they might not move on over to the human love narrative, but in the meantime, let's do one thing at a time. So the 1 year old of every person is what a 5D mystic, enlightenment functional adult, who's a spirituality, spiritual, and human element subject matter person expert, pseudoscience lady, woo, okay, for personal development, self-help. So you all are beautiful, and getting to that 1 year old is really, really hard for some people. But if they're motivated, they can minimize trauma and they can get that earned secure attachment with pachas. That's why Cuscos get pachas, and pachas get Cuscos, and Cuscos get to become pachas, and we stay pachas. But here's where, with that prefrontal cortex, as I was saying, fear. So I have a 0-1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and a lot of people love to share with me how my dominant emotion is fear, because they'll see me get little, and then I also, I have IBS, again, panic attacks, anxiety. So my dominant emotion when I need to do anything is, oh my God, am I going to be okay? So I'm not brave like that Disney cartoon Brave, but I don't think of bravery. That's the part. I'm a human. I don't need to do movies. See? Okay, so when the psych educators, they explain to us how people have a lot of stuff going on, and I can say, this is okay. I'm okay with this. So I'll use another funny story. Empowerment is what I'm trying to show you. Now, mine is easy because, see, fear is about certainty, which is the number one thing that we all will face, because we all have a human secondary consciousness, and I want to know what's going to happen once I die. I won't. Marcus Aurelius told me. So I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm being very serious. This is a different way of sharing with you what it's like to grow up in a child-centric environment and safety. And then say, wow, there are some people that don't have any of this. They have 0-1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old shit show. And so whenever I hear and have heard anyone say, I'm a key and I'm more special and I'm anointed because I have clairs. And don't you think that the ones of us with clairs, since we are told that we are spirits in a body and we are light workers, every person's a light worker. Now, what light you shine? Well, let me wonder. Really? So that's how people dehumanize people, is by using figures of speech. So I'm going to share what a body is. It's an embodied brain. What spirit is you. You have a ego self, the essence of life and love. You have a brain. If it's integrated, you will tap into the sphere of consciousness. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. I can share it with you, science or even Sadhguru. Either way, thank you, Sadhguru. Your humanity, if you overflow with it, divinity descends. Now, it's fancy, isn't it? No, don't use divinity in the way that those who say we're all a God. Yeah, no, we're not all a God in this way, but we do like the generator of diversity. That's Daniel Siegel's for his infinite plane of possibilities. He's a lovely Mindsight Institute. Look him up, Dr. Daniel Siegel. So he shares about attachment categories, not styles. Somebody confused that in one of the books. I hope they might revisit it because it's really a different group of researchers. He talks about the mind, the brain, and relationships, and he gets chased down the hallways by his subject matter expert colleagues, because his subject matter expert colleagues, well, I was in academia, I know all about egos. So we have spiritual bypassers. We also have mantles of mental health, mantles of yoga, and mantles of educational material, because any subject matter expert, in my opinion, would want to continue expanding, but some don't. Okay, so again, the body is beautiful. You actually want to tend to it. Moderately, a little bit of drinking, a little bit of fucking, a little bit of no drugs over here because that's really bad for you. And there's, some would say, well, smoking is too, but you know what? I mean, every now and then a cigar. So long story short, we all have vices, if you will, right here. Fear is one of the most, I'm going to say, safe emotions to feel, because it means that I know what I want, which is that life is meaningful to me, and I stay safe. And I can laugh about it. And I'm going to say it's easy for me. I can only imagine if I get angry how hard that is going to be to harness, because anger is an emotion that's a lot more, even though it's allowing you to run. So here I can bring it to my 4'9" body and how I feel and think that I'm, small. Who knows? Anyways, long story short, we don't have to make it into a movie. Healthy self-worth, empowered men, women, and theys have a 0-1-year-old in the forefront, and we know that everybody feels emotions. And my point. So the main goal in life is for you to know about attachment and trauma, sharing how everybody can become either earned secure attachment, whole 1-year-olds, or you already have it. And therefore, we talk about emotions and thoughts. They're not irrefutable facts ever. We don't do this thing called, effective realism. But you learn it as you grow up. I learned it after the age of 8, just FYI. So again, we go through all the experiences, just no laundry here. It's called emotions, and we work together as a herd. to bring the authentic self and to build 5D relationships, empowered women, men days. Please join us so that we can support each other to overflow within our humanity and, bring to the world what we can for those who want to reach this expanding of consciousness in a world that evolves with all of us. Tune in.